8 years old. I remember going through a why me phase. It's true, I don't know what I'd do without them. I really don't.
Perseverance acquired a new meaning during the spring of Tanner Barton's second grade year.
He was doing gymnastics at the time and complained constantly of his legs being shaky. We took him to the doctor. Everything seemed okay.
So when September rolled around, I wasn't swimming like I was in the summer. I wasn't having the activity levels that I was used to having. I was drinking a lot of water, a lot of milk. I was frequently going to the bathroom. I even ended up wetting the bed a few nights, and we knew that for a third grader, this is not right. My family doctor took a blood test and said, all right, we need to get you to Children's Hospital because we think that this could be more serious.
And that's the first time ever since he was born that I went to the doctor without my wife. So I take him to the doctor, and the doctor tells me all the bad news. I came home, and I said, hey, we got to go down to the emergency room.
When I was diagnosed with diabetes, I was in the third grade, and it was September 2nd, 2003. That day will always stick with me because it was a life-changing day.
At the age of 8 years old, Tanner came to the realization that his journey would not be the same as most his age.
Do I have to be the one? Why am I sitting out at practice? Why do I have to go back and swim when I could have done it right then, but I can't do it right then? So anger, I think, and a little bit of embarrassment. He really didn't want to share with anybody. He didn't want anybody to know. I remember sitting somewhere and giving himself a shot in his leg under the table so nobody would see.
Throughout my years in elementary school, I was the only diabetic in middle school. When I went to high school, there were 3 diabetics, but it was still trying to cope with the disease and coming to terms with your new situation.
It took a long time for him to accept that I've got to deal with this the rest of my life. It's never going to go away.
My mom has been instrumental in this journey of my life, and the same goes with my dad. They work as a team, always there with open arms, ready to give me a hug and a kiss and just say, you know, look at everything you've been blessed with, look at where we've come, and I'm forever grateful for that.
With the initial shock behind him, Barton began working towards a cause, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation.
He all of a sudden became super active. They started calling on him to do talks for, the walk, and he went out and was an advocate for it. He sits on an international council right now for JDRF. He goes to a lot of the conferences. I think he kind of felt after a while, if I'm going to deal with this, I better work to maybe get a cure.
As an advocate for a cure, Tanner came into contact with Michael J. Fox at a research symposium. Inspired by Barton's message, Fox included Tanner in his autobiography, raving over Tanner's toughness and boyish bravado.
When one is diagnosed with diabetes, it can come as a curveball, not only to the individual, but to their entire family, because it really takes a toll on everyone involved. And I want to help those children, and I want to show that they don't have to be hopeless. They don't have to look at their situation in a dreary way, because you can still accomplish so much. And yes, it will be difficult, and yes, you will have to take more precautions. But as long as you have the attitude that it won't hold you back, it won't hold you back. It's as simple as that. You just have to be ready, and you have to be willing to fight. If I were to give advice to another diabetic athlete, I would say continue to have faith, because with faith and with your support system and your higher power, you can accomplish anything you want to. You just always have to have that right attitude. You have to have a positive energy, and whenever you are facing a difficult situation, just knowing that I can do this.
Overall, the thing that makes me most proud is that he ultimately didn't let it get to him. He's so involved in everything with JDRF right now that I think that's what makes me happy, that he's embraced it as best he can.
Barton has not only embraced diabetes, he has thrived despite the disease, earning an opportunity to swim at the Division I level.
My biggest fear coming into college was explaining my type 1 diabetes to my coach and my teammates, because when my blood sugar is below 70, when it's in the hypoglycemic range, I physically can't exercise. in risk of going into a coma. And I wanted to come in and show them, look, I am going to work hard. These are my goals, and I am going to do everything I can to reach my goals. But if my diabetes interferes, I want you to know what is going on.
The first thing he did when he got here was make a speech to the team about the fact that he was a diabetic, and he might have to get out and stop during the practices. And so that was really good for the team just to understand. I mean, there were some questions and everything, but there's nothing really big from the team.
They understand that when my blood sugar is out of whack, they know that I'm doing everything I can. That's just part of me. That's part of my personality and my character.
Donning cardinal and white in the pool is only one step in Tanner's lifelong mission to serve under the blue ribbon, representing hope for a cure for diabetes. For Ball State Sports Link, I'm Connor Onion.